The Forgotten Cabin. In the heart of the dense ancient woods, a cabin lay forgotten by time. Its rotting wood and overgrown surroundings gave it an eerie appearance. Most who ventured into these woods avoided the cabin, claiming it was cursed, haunted by the spirits of its long-dead inhabitants. For as long as anyone could remember, the cabin had been shrouded in mystery and fear. But one fateful evening, a group of college friends set out on a dare to spend the night in the forsaken cabin. Their laughter and bravado filled the air as they approached the cabin's decaying porch. Inside, the cabin felt like a relic from a bygone era. Dusty furniture, faded wallpaper, and cobwebs covered everything. It was as though time had stopped in this forsaken place. As night fell, the group of friends huddled around a flickering candle, determined to prove the rumors of the cabin's haunting wrong. As the hours passed, unease settled in. Whispers of the wind outside sounded like distant voices, and shadows danced in the corners of the room. An old, cracked mirror caught their attention, and they saw a fleeting reflection that did not belong to any of them. A pale face with hollow eyes stared back at them for a fraction of a second, sending a chill down their spines. Tensions grew, and the once jovial group began to feel the weight of the cabin's history. They decided to explore the cabin further, their footsteps creaking on the aging wooden floor. In one of the bedrooms, they discovered a collection of weathered journals. The journals told a tale of a family who had lived here generations ago, a family tormented by misfortune and tragedy. It seemed that the whispers about the cabin's cursed nature had some basis in truth. Outside, the wind howled, and a torrential rainstorm began. The group was now trapped within the cabin, and their sense of foreboding intensified. As they gathered around the fire, they heard the unmistakable sound of footsteps approaching from the darkness. Panic set in as they realized they were not alone. A figure appeared at the cabin's entrance, drenched from the rain. The friends hesitated but finally invited the stranger in, fearing for their safety. The newcomer introduced himself as Samuel, a traveler seeking shelter from the storm. Though he seemed harmless, his presence only added to the eerie atmosphere. As the night wore on, Samuel shared stories of his own experiences with the supernatural, feeding the group's growing paranoia. The cabin's creaks and moans seemed to respond to his tales, creating an otherworldly symphony of fear. One by one, the friends succumbed to their fear and fatigue, retreating to separate rooms to escape the oppressive atmosphere. Alone in their respective bedrooms, they heard whispered voices and phantom footsteps. Shadows crept across the walls, making them question their sanity. Hours later, as dawn broke, they gathered in the main room, each revealing the horrors they had experienced. Samuel, their unexpected guest, was nowhere to be found. The group decided to leave the cabin and escape the oppressive dread that hung over it. Outside, the storm had passed, and the woods were bathed in an eerie morning light. As they made their way through the overgrown forest, the air grew lighter, and their fear began to dissipate. The cabin with its dark secrets disappeared into the woods, becoming a distant memory. Weeks later, the group of friends gathered to reflect on their terrifying experience. Though they had escaped the cabin, they knew they would forever carry the memory of that forsaken place with them. The cabin remained in the depths of the woods, waiting for the next group of daring souls to venture inside and experience the horrors it held within its decaying walls. The legend of the forgotten cabin persisted, and the stories told about that ill-fated night would haunt the friends for the rest of their lives. The cabin's curse had left an indelible mark on their souls, a reminder that some mysteries are best left undisturbed, and some horrors are better left forgotten.